Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are doing a service which I have not done in a very long time on the channel. We are on the Brighton Mainline today in the Class 700 timetable mod by trainsim.cz. This is a PC only mod and it is available from the link in the description. You just drop it. To install it, you just drop it in your DLC folder and it works fine. It's ostensibly for TSW4 and it hasn't been updated since then, but it works completely fine in TSW6. Anyway, so yeah, today we're here at Gatwick Airport on the Brighton Mainline route in the Class 700/1 Desiro, the full-length unit, of course. The full-length unit is exclusive to this mod, and it also has the appropriate, if I could get a good camera angle, desk stickering as well, which is quite nice. So yeah, we're doing a run from here at Gatwick Airport up to East Croydon, and then the AI will take over to Bedford. So yeah, let's get started. Gotta remember how to set this thing up, so master key, keep it in neutral. I believe we unlock the doors on the left. Exterior lights today. DC power, GSMR is already done. Let's go and put the DRA on, which will have an auditory. Really? Oh, I hate this bug. Anyway, so let's go and it's not letting me click anything. Hang on. DSD, DRA. Hang on. Just do it via this camera, I suppose. Cab lighting off, door key switch we don't need. DSD. Vigilance is to normal. Yeah, it wasn't letting me click some of these. AWS, TPWS. Make sure the saloon lighting is on. Just a quick test. Right. Oh, there's another 700 pulling in. Also heading to Bedford. Let's see. What service is that? That is the Brighton to Bedford. So that's more of a local stopper. So that would have originated here. Yeah, so we're heading from here up to here. Oh. My goodness. Doesn't give you too much time, does it, this timetable? Oh. Sorry.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Right, off we go. Next stop, Horley. And we don't have times to get there, but we do have times by which we need to finish loading the passengers. Not entirely sure why that's a thing, but it is what it is. We're stopping today at Gatwick Airport, Horley, Salfords, Earlswood, Red Hill, Purley, going via South Croydon and then arriving at East Croydon. There is a FLU. Nice. What's the performance we're getting? Not great. Don't know why that is. 900 yards to go. Maybe it's because it was having. Okay, now we're getting better. 40 FPS. It was just the right. Let's cut the power. Don't want to open the windows. I am using Winzarton's live weather mod as well, and London Midland's signal visibility mod, both of which are available off the Train Sim community website. Both of which are also PC only, I'm afraid, which is a major shame. Like, having mods compatible with consoles is one of the things I'm hopeful about to come to TSW. Ideally, I would want a mod situation like we have with Transport Fever 2. Get behind a yellow line, NPCs, where the mods are cross-compatible with both consoles and PCs, and not only that, they are also cross-compatible, no matter which platform you're. They also sync across platforms. I mean, right. Yeah, we have full safeties on today. We also I love how the mod adds appropriate full-length unit stickering where it needs to be, which is very nice indeed. Yeah. I've actually ridden on a Class 700 in real life in July, and not only that, it was on one doing this exact Gatwick to Bedford service. However, I rode on the section from Farringdon to St. Pancras, I think it was, when it was running under the wires. I did get the chance to try out the ironboard seats, though, which honestly lived up to expectations. I expected them to be uncomfortable. They were uncomfortable. I didn't get the chance to try the first class ones out, but there we go. Oh, I do like the 700. It's been a good bit since I've driven it. Also, I do want to point out that there are only 2 requirements for the Class 700 timetable DLC, those being the Brighton Mainline and the Class 700 DLC, but apart from that, those are all the requirements you need. Like, for example, I don't have the East Coastway or Class 313 layers active, and the timetable's working just fine. So, which is very nice. And it's running pretty smoothly too, 52 FPS on a route this busy. That's pretty good. Yeah. And there is actually a mod to make the CCTV cameras on this side actually function properly, but it's highly experimental and makes the game lag extremely. And I really do mean that. It tanks your frame rate because it's having to load stuff. There's a Gatwick Express. Hello, mate. Why Gatwick and Heathrow airports chose 387s for their express services will never cease to be a source of puzzlement for me, because the Electrostars are not express units. Why were they chosen? Just probably because of cost, but there we go. I don't also have the Brighton Mainline enhancement pack running like I've had in my past videos, because yeah, I'm trying to keep the amount of mods in my game to a minimum. We're doing 80 miles an hour? That's pretty impressive. Alright, let's get some more brakes going. 80%. Yeah. Right, onto the brakes, bud. Uh-oh, this might be a Nebworth. This might be a Nebworth. Come on, 700. I believe in you. Right, that engaging emergency brakes. No way. How did we save that? That was very nearly tea and biscuits for the manager, that was. We only have 20 seconds here, and then we're off to Earlswood. Right. I didn't even have time to put the reverser in neutral, as you should, but yeah. Oh my goodness. This thing takes off like a rocket ship. Even on DC power. However, yeah. I really hope that the Brighton Mainline does get at least, if not a remaster, at least a refresh. I hope it gets the 700 added to the base game's timetable, and you don't have to use a mod for it. And I also hope that, yeah, at some point... Oh, and we're getting overtaken by a 700. That doesn't happen on too many routes where you get overtaken by other trains. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Yeah, I hope it because, yeah, the team at Firefly Simulations who just joined the game as proper third-party developers, they're a bunch of old community modders who, some of whom actually made the Brighton Mainline Enhancement Pack mod back in the day, so I really am hoping that they can actually have a go at giving this game a bit of a refresh. Not this route, I mean, not the game. The route, a bit of a refresh, which would be actually quite nice. put on the brakes a tad. Coming into Earlswood. I do like the Class 700 DLC. It's just a shame we can't run it anywhere under the wires for any period of time. There's another 700. Because, yeah. Unfortunately, the only place where we can run this thing under the wires... Uh-oh, this might be another Nebworth. Oh, this is going to be another Nebworth. That's an emergency brake. Oh, psst. Why did I doubt the capabilities of the 700? Okay, that's... Hang on. Give me 1 second to correct my error. Hello there. Are you coming through? Yeah, I think you're not stopping, are you? Yeah, you're not stopping. Onto the brakes. There we go. Now I've gotten a bit further onto the platform. The trouble is, if they do add the 700 to the timetable, they'll A, need to add the FLU version, and B, change it so you can't, so the doors that have to open in the platform areas and can't open over the tracks. There's a Southern 377/4 heading through. Also, they would need to layer in the 377/2 from West Coast Mainline South and the upcoming 377/1 from Rivet Games' East Coastway Class 171 pack. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of improvements that could be made to this route, even, yeah. Right. Next stop is Red Hill. Honestly, it would be pretty nice if we could get older Thameslink units in the game, like the Class 319. Is that another 377? Yes, it is. That'd be pretty cool. Especially since we don't have a lot of those older British EMUs in the game, like a Class 319. Like, you could also put it in northern colours and stick it on Manchester Airport commuter. With complete with a backdated timetable and things like that. Alright, not too much further to Red Hill. There's actually a short branch off to the west of Red Hill to Reigate, where the electrified track ends. And that actually means the Great Western Express Class 166 layers in and is playable from Reigate to Red Hill, change ends, and then down to where was it? Oh dear, we're doing twice the speed limit. Oh, there's one right there. Nice. Yeah. Hopefully the remastered version will layer in automatically. At least that's what I'm hoping. That'd be a lot of fun, having that layering in. Speaking of which, as I'm recording this, we actually got the footage of the remastered version of the Class 166 and a first look at the Class 165 as well, which both look excellent. Right, we do have a red signal. Oh, that 166 and 377 are both at the same platform. That's pretty cool. You don't see that too often. Oh, wow, we are extremely early to Red Hill. My goodness, probably because we absolutely catapulted into Red Hill, but there we go. Right, easy does it. Can take all the time we need with this stop, never mind. Let's just cram on the brakes, why don't we? Right, brakes to minimum, reverse and neutral, don't need the DRA. We're here for the next four minutes, so we might as well have a bit of a look round. It's been a while since I was on the Brighton Mainline. Like, I really do mean that. Yeah, trust me, these ironboard seats are as uncomfortable as they look. They are, like, even in first class, they are absolutely infamous. Like, look how thin that padding is. It's like the designers of this train were taking the mickey on commuters who are going to use this thing every day. Anyway, let's go have a look at that 166 over there. Can't wait to see the 165 on this route. That'd be a lot of fun. Where are you going? Gatwick Airport. Wait a minute. There's a service heading to Tonbridge at 1500. We're actually getting Tonbridge and TSW as the southern end of the Medway Valley line by Firefly Simulations. That's a route I'm really looking forward to, because among other things we'll get a properly functional GSMR radio. I need collectibles. Nothing there. That is a collectible. So we're currently here, and we're heading all the way up to here. $700's a nice unit to drive. It's not a nice unit to ride in, and I say that as a person who's ridden on the 700, albeit only once, but that was enough to create a lasting impression. Can you... Thank you. I have the feeling the 166 and 165 are going to become some of my favourite modern British DMUs once the remaster comes out, which is not too far away. They're aiming... No release date has been confirmed as of this taping, but they have said they are aiming for an early 2026 release. And judging by the footage, I'd say probably early to mid-January. Let's shut the cab door. There we go. Right, we have just over a minute here, and then we're off to Purley and East Croydon, which are our only two stops left today. Yeah. I just wish we need the other 377 variants would need... Wait a minute. That says 377/1, yet that's not in the game yet, because the 377/1 is coming with the Rivet Games pack. So, I know it. I remember now, because they gave the 377/4, and /2 numbering as well as the /4 numbering, despite it having the wrong headlight clusters. Ugh. I don't like that at all. Right. Let's get ready to go. Let's get out of here. Next stop, Purley. In 7 miles. Okay. So previously we were acting as more of a local stopper. Now we're becoming more of an express. Well, yeah. You also have the... Yeah. Right. Like, honestly, I wish we had the Thameslink section from East Croydon under central London onto the Midland Main Line. Because that would actually be past King's Cross and then onto the Midland Main Line. Because that would actually be a lot of fun to drive. Especially with the AC and DC changeover that we'd have to do at Farringdon? I could be wrong there, mind you. Usually am these days. Alright. We are motoring now. We clear up to 90 in a minute. We are... I think our legal maximum is 100 miles an hour. But I think on the Brighton mainline we are limited to 90. I think. I could be wrong though. I haven't done this run in so long I've forgotten it. And this is just, I didn't plan this. This is like on the day, spur of the moment recording as well. I was like, what train have I not drove in so long? And I was like, ooh, class 700 of the Brighton Mainline. Right. Right. My goodness. These 700/1s can be long trains. My goodness. Straight through wherever this is. I'm not entirely sure. No expert on the BML myself. That's 80 miles an hour. This thing doesn't have a lot of top end power, but yeah, it's definitely, it does have a lot of torque. And into the tunnel. Oh, hello. Easy does it. Do like how reasonably adjustable the handle is, the throttle handle. There we go. 88 miles an hour. We going back to the future, Doc. No, that of course that's a back. Yeah, Back to the Future reference, of course. Like it's the 88 miles an hour. All we need now is a DeLorean. That's just a good films, the Back to the Future. But yeah, I'm getting off topic as usual these days. These units are decently quick. A train I would love to see is two of these things cousin, the Southeastern Class 707 on Southeastern High Speed, and then the Great Northern Class 717 on the new East Coast Mainline route, say King's Cross to Peterborough, set in the modern day. That'd be cool. Oh, crumbs. I didn't even notice that 75 mile an hour restriction. Oh dear. Right. Do apologize. Normally I drive a lot more competently than this. 2.5 mile, just under 3 miles to Purley. The BML is not exactly my cup of tea, but I do like driving on it from time to time, especially with this timetable mod. It makes the rail scene a lot more realistic when you have Thameslink stock running around. There's the fast line off to our left there. Right, we do have a 80 limit coming up. Clear AWS for now, but it looks as though we do have a red signal coming into Purley, which is not good. Let's give it a tad of power. And we do have a 60 limit coming into Purley, so we better be careful. We do have a single yellow, so I'll start on the brakes. 30% brakes should do the trick nicely to bring our speed down. There's another Class 700 going onto the fast line net. Another FLU, I think. Let's see if I can't get a good thumbnail here. Let's try and angle it a bit. There we go. There we go, screenshot saved. Alright, let's get some more brakes going real quick. There is, wow, yeah, you really see how much this mod makes a difference in the timetable when you see so much Thameslink stock running around the place. Let's get up to 60. What time do we have to get to Purley? Oh, we've got another 2 minutes to get to Purley. and load the passengers, so yeah. But yeah, that's the one thing I really don't like about this timetable mod. It doesn't give you the timetable doesn't give you the time at which you're supposed to arrive. It only gives you the time at which you're supposed to load the passengers by, which makes it really hard to timetable to know if you're running on time or not. Which is something that you see in the normal TSW timetable that you pay money for, but yeah. I suppose I shouldn't complain because it's free, but I'm just constructively criticizing this. Right, full brakes. That's a good. This is going to be a bit dicey, I think. Oh, it's going to be really dicey. There's a 377 over there. I've actually, yeah. Come on, buddy. Slow down. Why is my frame rate drop plummeting? That's 16 frames. What the heck? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why my frame rate just went. Yeah, that was a. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, but yeah, it's due to this issue currently in the core of the game. Unfortunately, ooh, we've got 2 minutes here. That's causing trains that go past you to not unload, so it gradually stacks up, and on consoles, it takes away textures to try to preserve frame rate. On computers, it tries to preserve frame rate while taking away from tries to preserve textures while taking away from frame rate, if that makes any sense. There goes the 377. So yeah, there is a fix currently in the works, and to Dovetail's credit, they've been very transparent about this. And they've got a development team working through the Christmas and New Year holiday to try and fix the issue. Which, like, fair play. Like, I know I give Dovetail Games a lot of flack these days for their stuff like their business practices, which are valid, but yeah, I'm glad they're being this transparent and disinformative about what the issue is and how it's going to be resolved. Alright, 45 seconds till we go, and then our last stop is East Croydon in 6 minutes. Wonder if these yards ever get used in the timetable. I know the East Coastway 66 has a layer on here, but only if you have East Coastway, and I don't think I'm ever going to get East Coastway, so yeah, those yards will probably remain empty for me for the rest of time. Though, mind you, I might pick up East Coastway once the Rivets Class 171 and 377/1 packs come out. Who knows? Maybe once they go on a good sale. Right, go via South Croydon in 2 miles. Yeah, this is where the route really starts to get busy. I know we've seen a lot of trains before, but the section from East Croydon, there goes the Thameslink line up towards central London, mid the Mainline. And that's where our train will be going, and then the Brighton Mainline branches off to the left, goes through past Battersea Power Station into Victoria. And trust me, despite this route's age, it can be absolutely chomp on the performance, thanks to just not the route scenery itself causing issues, but just the sheer amount of rolling stock. This is what, to this day, this is one of the busiest routes this game has ever had, with the exception of perhaps something like the Frankfurt S-Bahn, West Coast Mainline South, stuff like that. But yeah. Yeah, we're currently stuck at 60 into Croydon, which does make sense. I do like the low muted bing of the AWS system telling you the next section of track is clear. Very nice little background reminder. I do like the AWS system. I think if I wanted, probably some safety systems are more, like AWS is pretty easy, but I would trust a German system like PZB more, if that makes any sense, but I definitely think that AWS does, when paired with TPWS, is definitely a nice piece of kit to work with. American safety systems I just haven't really gotten, like stuff like ATC and Access just does my head in, especially with the way that you have to reset a penalty brake by setting the brake to suppression. It's just confused me. Right, next and final stop, East Croydon in 1 mile. And then this train will continue on as AI under central London and up to Bedford on the Midland Main Line. I would like to see a Midland Main Line route, say St Pancras to Bedford would be actually quite nice. Like class 700 layers, East Midlands trains HST layers if you set the route a few years back. Yeah, stuff like that. There's another 700, and that's the spectacle of 21 frames a second. Alright, we do have pretty high 45 mile an hour limit into East Croydon, so let's do some gentle braking here. We do have 2 minutes to do a gentle stop at East Croydon, so might as well make this a decent stop. It's 377 on our right hand side and our left hand side. That's excuse me. We do have a red signal almost directly after our stop, so I better be very careful so I don't have a SPAD, because coming all this way and then losing it to a SPAD would not be nice. But I think the class 700 is going to take care of it. Yeah, there we go. We didn't even have to go up to maximum brakes. DRA on unlock doors. Brakes to minimum. Welcome to East Croydon, ladies and gentlemen. After a pretty nice run up from Gatwick Airport. I should honestly do this more often. Let's shut the doors. And there we go. Platinum medal. Oh, I didn't know this thing was this timetable was compatible with the scoring system. That's pretty cool. Only lost 195 points to speeding. So yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.